This is, well, it's just after high noon on the 6th of August, 2024. Well, the world now knows who Kamala Face on her knees picked for her VP. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. They're going to get rid of both of these. That's why Big Mike's going to come out at the convention. Harris running mate faces renewed scrutiny after his word socialism comparison resurfaces. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz made the controversial comment during a White Dudes for Harris Zoom event. A White Dudes for Harris? Let's listen to this clip, see if there's an ad here first. We'll see. Yeah, there's an ad. Okay, I'll let the ad play its course, and then we'll get rid of it. It's amazing how we get bombarded with ads, isn't it? Well, that's what pays all these royalties on YouTube. Here we go.
Gene Greenberg, San Francisco activist, once ran for mayor. So, Richie, what type of DA was the vice president?
Hi, good afternoon, Eric. Thanks for having me. So what's really important is to see how she acted then versus how she's acting now and what she would promise to do now. You can't compartmentalize what she had done 10 or 20 years ago and excuse that or embrace it. There's the problem here. Now, we've got this is a liberal. She is a American liberal, and not just American, she is a California liberal and a San Franciscan liberal, which are the worst kind. Her father was a Marxist, and this is very telling for Americans. When San Franciscans are warning the nation about someone like Kamala Harris and her attitude, America needs to listen. And as district attorney, she did whatever she could to try and conflagrate to be a chameleon, where she would be tough on crime on some issues like truancy and threatening to jail parents that allow their children to miss school. But she also was doing things like looking to expunge the record of illegal aliens and criminal records such as that. That's very problematic. But you have to take that in context and move it forward to today and then see, even while she was a senator, she did things that were also very problematic.
She supported sanctuary cities at the time, saying, of course, that lets illegal aliens report crimes. At the same time, she then supported something that the Gavin Newsom, who then was the mayor of San Francisco, supported, which is report criminal juvenile undocumented immigrants to authorities. So that would show that maybe she then was tough, potentially, on crime.
Well, here's the problem now. This is 2024. In the last few years, we've learned about this concept of progressive rogue DAs. Many of them are Soros-backed. And over time, Kamala Harris and her attitude has evolved along with how this concept of progressive DAs, they are anti-accountability. They are anti-prosecution. And this is the problem, that because of people like Kamala Harris and Chesa Boudin, who we successfully recalled, San Franciscans just got fed up with this kind of attitude of letting criminals off the hook. And before him, Gascon, who, similar to Kamala Harris, was initially tough on crime, but then something happened and he had a change of heart. He changed his mind and became very, very liberal, a progressive DA, just like Kamala Harris as time went on. And this is the problem. We cannot allow this kind of attitude to progress forward. Progressive DAs, the liberal San Francisco liberals, that's the big problem here. And San Franciscans are warning everyone.
All right, 30 seconds left, Richie. You know, crime, when she took office, crime did go up, but it then went down. Let's take a look at the numbers. You can see when she left office, crime was below, violent crime was below what it was when she assumed office. Isn't that a positive? She could say, I reduced crime. Isn't that the good thing that she was successful?
Well, what also happens is that a lot of the decision to charge and try a criminal is based on the DA's office. And that's what happened. We see it over and over again, that when a DA wants to look better, then they don't charge, and it looks like the crime went down.
All right, Richie, we're out of time. Thank you. Good to see you as always.
Minnesota Democratic Governor Tim Walz was blasted last week on social media after telling a group of Democrats that socialism is what some people would call neighborliness, in a clip that has received renewed attention after he was announced as VP Kamala Harris's 2024 running mate on Tuesday morning. Don't ever shy away from the progressive value, the Minnesota Democrats said on a White Dudes for Harris call last week. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. This is scary, folks. The comment was widely criticized by conservatives on Twitter, including Manhattan Institute senior fellow Eli Shapiro, who responded on X with "weird," a reference to recent Democratic attacks against GOP presidential candidate J.D. Vance and former President Trump. Neighborlessness killed members of my family, journalist Carl Markowitz posted on X. Look at these two freaks. Wonder how old this Tim Walz is. He looks like he's... Let me ask. Hey Siri, how old is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz?
I found this on the web.
Well, didn't answer my question. The clip resurfaced on Tuesday morning shortly after Waltz was named as Harris's VP pick. This is the most radical ticket in American history, GOP Senator Mike Lee posted on X. This is the most extreme ticket in history, the Senate Republican X account posted. Look at this jack-off. Waltz's statement that socialism is mere neighborliness is a lie that disregards the harsh realities countless families have faced under socialist regimes. Virginia Republican Attorney General Jason Myers posted on X. My own family members were arrested and jailed in Cuba, victims of a system that masquerades oppression and community care, he continued. Socialism crushes any form of dissent, stripping away freedom, ultimately failing to deliver on its promises. This is a direct threat to the American ideals. Well, that's what Obama put in gear. This is the end result of it. The single great self-damning quote against a progressive I've seen in a long time, author Justin Hart posted on X. Fox News Digital reached out to Waltz's office as the Harris campaign for comment and did not receive a response. Waltz, 60, well, that's how old he is, was named Harris's running mate. He looks a hell of a lot older than 60. Shit, I'm 21 years older than he is. I'm in much better shape than he is. After weeks of speculation where many pundits believed Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro would ultimately be selected. Waltz, a former U.S. Army National Guard member, you know why they joined the National Guard? To avoid having to go overseas. And a former teacher who has raised his profile in recent weeks as an effective advocate for Harris. He grew up in a small town in Nebraska and was also a football coach and union member in a high school in Minnesota before getting into politics. Recently, he attacked former President Trump and his running mate J.D. Vance as weird in a viral insult the Harris campaign has embraced. A former member of Congress from a Republican-leaning district, Waltz has proven appeal with rural white voters, though he was also championed progressive policies as governor, such as free school meals and expanded paid work leave. While Minnesota is a solidly Democratic state, it is close to Wisconsin and Michigan, two crucial battlegrounds. Guy's a joke. She's a joke. I can't believe that she's even a contender. we'll see. I still think that Big Mike's going to pop out. There's a lot of heat being applied to camel face on her knees, Kamala Harris. And Obama can't afford to lose. We'll see, won't we? I can't do this alone, folks. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.